Sorry, y'all. I thought I had the countdown off, but it was on. How are you, Holly and Ben? We're going to do another collective reading today, you guys, just because I don't have the time this week um, to do the elemental readings. So we may or may not continue to do those. I will continue to show up for everyone and do readings every single day. I'm just not sure exactly if I'm going to keep the elemental readings or not, because they are like, I get more views collectively on the collective reading than I do individually on the elemental readings. So I'm just going off the statistics here. You're doing good. I'm glad, Holly. How are you feeling today after your physical therapy yesterday? All right. We can wait for a couple more minutes for folks to start filing in. What? Ben, how is I'm sorry, I forgot her name. But how is she doing? The Soul Tribe member that had a close encounter with those floods. Let me know how she's doing. All right. We'll go ahead and get started, and then I'll address the comments as they come through, because there is a lag, about 30 seconds. So little stretches. Good. Okay, good. I'm glad you're feeling well. Okay. And through all of my cleaning over the past couple of weeks, I've found shirts that I forgot I even had, like this one. They were like, they had fallen between the bench at the end of my bed and like the back of the bench between that and the end of the bed, because I never moved the bench. So yeah, I found a couple of items of clothing, mine and the kids' clothes, that I haven't seen in forever. So that was nice. Rosie, I don't know why I forgot that. Rosie, awesome. Okay, send Rosie our love and let her know that we are supporting. Okay. All right. All right, let's get into this. It's gonna be a little sticky, it looks, but we'll see as we get into the channel. Bottom of the deck, we have Five of Cups energy. This could be self-sabotage, but also kind of like I'm, I'm getting like not fully being fulfilled or satisfied with the way things are going right now, just being kind of maybe even lethargic when it comes to life circumstances, whatever it is that you're facing. Like the other day we talked about manifestations maybe backfiring or not coming to fruition the way that you hoped or that you thought they would. So it's just very like, what's the point, but we do have Seven of Cups reversed right behind that. This could be one of two things. I'm getting two things off this one. It could be that you're not really having many options or opportunities. Awesome, Ben. Thank you. You're welcome, honey. Missing opportunities, or just not really seeing much as far as opportunities go around you or within the situation itself. But for others of you, this is a period of coming out of some kind of confusion or this lethargic to life kind of state. Ten of Pentacles reverse, like some people are just feeling like, I don't know why I'm here, what I'm doing. I thought that thing that I was doing or that I wanted to do was meant for me. That was life path, yada, yada. But one of two things are happening as far as I can see right now, is that maybe those situations or these things that you want for yourself for your life are not really manifesting. There's a lot of bumps in the road. There's a lot of hiccups, or a lot of just, it started to manifest and then it just fizzled out. Hi, Dallas. So this sense of feeling, let down, depleted, like nothing is going my way. Um, and then on the other hand, there are people who are experiencing things like, oh, I didn't know that this is what I wanted until this started to fall apart. I didn't know that there was another opportunity within the situation, but these things kind of, I had to let go of my grip on it, but better is already coming in. So if you're still at this point where you're feeling lethargic about life, about, hi, Anna, things aren't going my way, I'm not seeing a way out, I'm not seeing any opportunities, those kinds of things, just let go. Okay. Now is the time for release, because things that we try to hold on to so tightly that are trying to leave our lives or that are meant to leave our lives, the more we hold on, the more pain it causes us, the more heartache, the more headache, that it causes us. So if something or someone or a situation is trying to leave your life right now, or you just can't seem to get it to manifest, then just let it go. It doesn't mean that you have to let it go forever. Just let it go, do what it's going to do, manifest how it's going to manifest, and keep moving forward. Um, because that holding on tightly to things that are trying to leave our lives is the same thing as chasing something. Whatever we're chasing is also running from us. The same thing, whenever we're trying to cling on so tightly to something that's trying to leave us, whether it's consciously trying to do that, like it's a person or a relationship that's, that can be painful to be on the receiving end of that. But ultimately, it is for your highest good. So the lesson in this is to learn how to let go with the flow, go with where you're led and guided, go towards the glimmers. Okay. We've heard about triggers. There are also glimmers, and it's that glimmer of hope, or that one thing that you can see in this ocean of endless inopportunity. Hey, it might not be what I was hoping, that big opportunity, but it's something, and it feels better than sitting here and dwelling on the fact that nothing else that I've tried is working, or nothing else, no opportunities are showing up for me. So go towards that glimmer. Okay. Move towards the things that cause excitement, happiness, or just that lightness. Even if you can't get to that point of, oh, thinking about this, or, going after this causes me happiness or joy. Some of us, whenever we're in the lowest of circumstances, when we're at rock bottom, okay, it's hard to reach for those joyful feelings. We just feel kind of like, well, this isn't as bad as this. Okay. And I've experienced it before, so I know what I'm talking about. And I know you guys have experienced this too. It's hard you can't fake joy, right? You can't fake being sublimely happy whenever you're in the pits of fucking despair. It just doesn't work. And trying to do that is only going to backfire in your face anyway. And it is also spiritual bypassing, which is an ascension trap that is showing up dead center of our reading right now. So don't get caught in these false states of being. Reach for the best feeling or the best thought in every moment, okay, in every situation, because it might not feel quite like bliss. The bliss card with trust is out here. Might not quite feel that way if you are down in the dumps, or if you're in the pits of despair, or if you're just feeling really low frequency, or you're let down by a situation or a person that didn't meet your expectations. Okay. And it's perfectly valid to feel that way. Validate that, feel that way, but don't stay there. Just go towards something that feels a little bit better, and then a little bit better. Okay. And release the anger, the frustration, express it with your physical body, get your body moving, exercise, shake your ass, whatever you need to do to move that energy through your vessel. We do have the initiation showing up on the bottom of the deck, and this is like the Hanged Man card in the tarot. With this, I was getting because whenever I sat the deck down, I was like, oh, well, that's interesting, but it's not so much sacrificing something about yourself, or being bound, or just everything being upside down, which you could be experiencing all of those things right now. But this is more with this card I got, that you're kind of being put in this period of stasis of like, if your higher self, your guides, source, the universe, whatever you want to call it, puts you on hold. Like elevator music and everything. You're put on hold. You can't really move because there's no opportunity, but the thing that you were doing before just kind of fell apart and it's not there. Nothing's happening, right? Um, if you were able to affect situations and get something moving forward, then you would be going down the wrong path, because it's like you're being put in this waiting position, put on hold, because there is something better coming in and they don't want you to wreck it. So yes, you're kind of bound right now, but you're becoming enlightened. You're going to see the light because the light is here. It's all around you. But sometimes it takes a little longer to tangibilize because divine timing. Maybe you need to tweak your frequency a little bit, let go of some of that stagnation or those anchors weighing you down, so that this can come in for you. Temperance in the reverse with the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse right next to it. So not moving forward. Things are not coming to a close, but they're not really opening up either. Temperance in the reverse here, card of Sagittarius. Lower frequency energies of Sagittarius is very flaky, could be short tempered at times. Okay, I know they're supposed to be the fun, like free spirit type of sign, but in their lower frequency expressions, they can be very flaky, very non-committal, very just don't have the follow through, right? Which can be very maddening for those of us who are very grounded, very much earth sign dominant, like myself. I've had that experience too. My daughter's a Sag. Okay. So, this is, in the upright, temperance is all about balance. It's all about healing. It's all about that light, high frequency energy, because it is an angel. And in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith expression of the temperance card, it is also an angel, an enlightened being, winged humanoids that we call angels, that aren't really the actual expression of an angel. That just symbolizes an enlightened being, because feathers, wings, they fly high, or they're higher realm type energy. So this is more so being in the dense, heavy, perhaps even low frequency state, where things are imbalanced. And that's the reason why that wheel isn't moving forward. That's the reason why things aren't turning in your favor. And she's got dice around her neck. Here, I'll do it right side up. She's got some dice right there. And she, the light and the dark, she's balancing those. So in the upright, it's the same, very much balancing the light and the dark. Look at this temperance card, balancing the light and the dark, but these are in the reverse. So you could be more operating in more dense energy at this time, or just perhaps even noticing lower frequency type situations manifesting for you in your experience. But this is, we did talk about the other day also, looking at the glass as half empty, more of the pessimistic perspective. And that's okay. Okay. It's okay to be there. It's okay to be that cynical asshole to yourself, right? It's okay to operate that way. We're all human. Okay. But don't stay there. Shake it off, work it out, punch a punching bag, primal scream, whatever you need to do to be able to release some of that pent up dense energy is going to be really helpful right now. Help you to bring things back into balance. And directly under that temperance card, we have the healing card here. And this is symbolic of the actual temperance card in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Sorry, not, yeah. Nope, I'm thinking star card. Sorry, guys, my brain. But this is, she's alchemizing. She's pouring out of two vessels. Okay. So alchemizing those imbalanced emotions or those imbalanced thoughts, pessimistic thinking. Breathe it out. Let it go. Hey, Matt, how are you, love? Um, Walking meditation, just go. Also, bottom of the deck energy, and that comes right behind that initiation card. You are being initiated into something. Initiations are not easy, okay? They're meant to be difficult. It's meant to initiate you into a new path. Lyra's opening the door for herself, but she's having a hard time squeezing her little fat butt through. There you go, girlfriend. Good job. So you're being initiated into this new path, this new way of existing, but you have to let go of the old. And like I said just a few minutes ago, exercise or getting out and setting the intention to release energy while you're walking. I'm going to get this moving forward, whatever it is that I'm focused on. My walking now, this is my intention of getting that energy flowing forward. And, you know, obviously you're going to have to take action steps and, um, you know, act on the inspired action guidance that you're receiving. But just the act of doing something tangibly in the physical realm with your physical vessel is going to get energy moving forward. And that's what we want. So if you're having a hard time with pent up energies or with something being stuck, not really coming to fruition for you, go on a walk, dance, turn on the music, and shake your ass. Do whatever you need to do to get that energy moving forward. Set the intention. Remember, hi, Kara. Set the intention that my act of dancing or of walking or whatever it is that you're doing is going to release this pent up energy and also get the energy flowing in the direction that I want it to. So, consciously, you could do spell work or something like that too, if you're called to do something like that, because that is something tangible that your physical brain can focus on, and this is what I'm doing for XYZ outcome, and I'm getting the energy going. So I don't know who needs to hear that, but and magic card also bottom of the deck, alignment. Align yourself by doing something tangible. You're in the physical realm, okay? So do something tangible. I have a hard time with this sometimes because personally, I do a lot of work in the psychic realms. Sorry, I had to close that. There's too much light coming through. The TISM doesn't like super bright light anyway. But I have to remind myself to actually do physical activities to get energy moving forward at times, because a lot of the work that I do is all internal. It's all in the psychic realms. It's intangible work, and it does work absolutely, and it works really well most of the time. But at times there are when there's stuck energies and things like that, I have to remind myself, hey, you should do something to get this energy moving in a physical way, because we are operating in the physical realm. And some of us forget that sometimes. I'll be the first to admit it, okay? But, you know, I'm really getting the message that doing something tangible in this physical realm, because we are having a shift, right? We're having this whole shift into what people understand as 5D Earth. So we're in the physical realm. We're going to continue to be in the physical realm, no matter if we're 3D or 5D. We're still going to be physical, tangible beings. So we're going to have to do work in the physical, tangible realms as well, no matter what. And even on past the shift, the ascension. We have the bliss card showing up with trust, and that falls right underneath that wheel of fortune that came out in the reverse. Trust that this pause, or that this period of nothing's happening. I'm kind of bound here with my initiation card. Okay, trust that this is the initiation, that maybe you might not be able to see tangible results just yet, but it does not mean that they're not manifesting already for you. But to quicken that energy, again, you can do spell work or you can go do something physical to set the intention to get the energetic ball rolling. Okay. Um, Four of Swords in the reverse next to the Fool in the reverse. I'm going to take both of those at the same time. This is coming out of a period of healing, and everyone is healing something right now. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the highest vibe motherfucker on the planet and you ain't got no problems. You're healing something right now. Okay. And if you're saying you're not, then you're bypassing. And I would take a second look if I were you personally, because I'm always healing something. I'm always working on something. I am a work in progress. I say it all the time and I own that shit. I teach from experience. I guide from my channelings, but I also learn from my channeled teachings as well. I'm not oh, I know everything. I'm still learning too. And you guys see me, I'll channel something. I'll be like, "Ooh, I like that. That was really good." Or, "Oh, that makes sense." "Oh, okay." I'm learning. Even though I'm the channel, that just means that I'm open to the higher wisdom that comes through. So, um, if you're thinking that you ain't got shit to deal with, then think again, because you wouldn't be here unless you did. And even if you are like an ascended being that's just come here to volunteer to help out, you're here to experience stuff so you can heal through that stuff while you're here, so that you can be the way shower, so that you can help others. So just don't get caught up in that egoic trap, or and remember, this is dead center ascension trap. Don't get caught up in that spiritual ego that it runs rampant in the spiritual communities. I get it. I understand it from the human perspective. I understand it from the spiritual perspective, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't awaken to your own shit. Okay. Um, so don't get so caught up thinking that, oh, I'm doing everything perfect. XYZ is all perfect. If your life is perfect and everything is going perfectly for you and you're abundant and you have not a care in the world and you just live, enjoy and embrace the moment and all of that, perfect. That's amazing for you. But you're still learning lessons, you're still experiencing life, and you're still going to have problems or contrast arise for you. So own your shit. No spiritual bypassing around here. And this could be why maybe something isn't moving forward for you, your career, or the fact that maybe you don't have a lot of people that you can confide in, that understand the more enlightened path of existence, or who don't believe in all this spiritual woo woo. Forgot to get cinnamon. Oh, that's okay. You can still do it. Or if you got cinnamon sticks, grate them. Grate them with a cheese grater or something, or like anyway, I'm off track. Sorry. So we're all healing. Okay. We're humans. If you're not healing your own life shit and you've already done that and you've already enlightened and all of that, you're still healing as a human for the collective. So just keep that in mind. Keep things in perspective. Don't get so into that spiritual ego that you're like, oh, I'm perfect. I'm enlightened. I shouldn't even be here, because you're here. If you were so enlightened, you wouldn't be able to exist in a physical body. So, we'll just say that and be done with it. Oshun showing up with justice. We are in Libra season, y'all. This is balance, justice. This is that um, karma. This is karma. And I remember mentioning karma the other day. They're like, remember you said we were talking about karma? That was Monday in the collective reading. Karma season, y'all. I mean, eclipse season. We've got retrogrades happening right now. We're about to have another Mercury retrograde. If you need your Mercury retrograde rescue kit, dosharocks.com, or contact your girl Dosha Rocks on Facebook and she will hook you up. They are, I think she said, what, $22 for your, if you're driving, don't comment. But yeah, super cheap right now. So if you need your Mercury retrograde rescue kit, there are some available through Dosha Rocks. But this balance is coming in, this karmic rebalancing is coming in. Perhaps, and I remember saying this the other day too now, they're reminding me, perhaps you've been just kicked around lately by life. You've lost people, situations, things, money, whatever in the human realm. And it's like one thing after the next. And it's like, I can't win for losing. This is ridiculous. When is my ship going to come in? Just one ship, just one tiny little ship. I don't need all the ships, just one. If you've been in this energy, things are really starting to turn. The tides are changing. That wheel is starting to, crank up into that upright position, because it doesn't matter how low you are beaten down, you still trust. You still have some, even the smallest part of you, that is still looking for your bliss, looking for something positive within a shit situation. And because you have held your frequency, you've maintained your frequency, even, during the dips, the emotional ups and downs. We'll have our frequency goes like this, up and down all day, every day. Okay. Um, Someone might cut us off in traffic, and then we're like, fuck you, whatever. And then, 5 minutes later, we're back to being blissfully, just existing. So, it, we're humans. We're one of the most emotional species. Okay. So you're going to experience those ups and downs, but you still maintain at least that thread of, you know what, I'm just going to trust. I know everything looks like it's against me right now, like I'm not going to win, like I'm just going to be pulled under, but I'm still holding out. I know, universe, source, guides, higher self, whoever. I know what you got lined up for me. I know it. I don't know how I know it, even though everything in my experience is proving otherwise at the moment. I'm still going to trust that something is going to come out of this situation that is positive for me, even if it's the lesson. So that is you literally shifting the energy and turning that wheel in your favor. We have the food meditation card with I can. This is just abundance. It doesn't have to be just about food. I know I say that every time I pull it, but for those who might be new watching, if you are, like, share, subscribe. Thank you very much. Be that piece of corn in the turd. Hold yourself together. Yes, Holly. um, use something else. Oh, yeah. Yes, Anna, I love that. You can use, like, if you got nutmeg, use that shit. Nutmeg is actually a very magical spice. It also has properties that bring on, like, euphoria, happiness, those kinds of things. So if you have some nutmeg in the cabinet, or if you have a little nutmeg, just, grind it up, blow it in your door. So that's just focusing on abundance, even when everything seems upside down, everything seems like it's not moving forward. With that Fool card in the reverse, you're doing some healing. You've got things slapping you in the face left and right. Heal this, heal that, heal this, heal that. You're still like, I'm waiting for the abundance. I know it's somewhere. So if that's you, good for you. Don't bypass it. Sit with the emotions, be pissed off about getting slapped left and right with lessons, but still, be waiting with arms open for those high frequency opportunities to come in for you, because that is what's happening. Don't get caught up in bypassing, because that is the trap. Okay. Again, I'm going to drill it into your head over and over again. Do not bypass it. Do not say, oh, that's a bad thought. Love and light, love and light, love and light. Because obviously, if it's here, and especially if it keeps, like, hey, tapping you on the shoulder or popping up in your face every time you turn around, obviously it's something that is in your energy. Okay. So you need to validate it. You need to learn from it. What are you here to tell me? What are you here to teach me? You can go into meditation and look at that emotion or look at that thought as if it's a separate being, humanize it, put it in a humanoid-like body or a human's body, and replace it with somebody who you know from the past that exhibited that emotion or that trait or triggered that within you, and set them in front of you and say, what is it that you want to tell me? Because you keep bugging me. Okay. So I'm here. I'm here to listen. What is it? And oftentimes you'll get answers in that way whenever you are able to make sense of it in your mind by putting it in a like a physical body right in front of you and look at that, and ask, say, what, communicate, let's hear what you have to say. A lot of times that helps people to gain more information. um yeah, blow it in the door, blow it into your door. If you're doing the cinnamon for abundance ritual, blowing cinnamon in your door, you blow it from the threshold on the outside into into your home. You don't want to blow money out. We want to blow the money into the household. um So next to that Fool card, and we talked about things not really moving forward because alignment, divine timing, they're all here. It's already created in the quantum. You just have to adjust your frequency. You got to let go of, those low frequency emotions that are anchoring you into that lower frequency. Let that shit go however you can. I know every situation is different, and I know some situations are more difficult than others to release. Trust me, I know. But you can do it because I've released some really heavy shit before, and things that I never thought in a million years I would be able to let go of. And I was able to do that. So if I can do it, you can too, because I've got a Taurus North Node. But I got a lot of Capricorn in my chart, and I'm a stubborn ass goat. Okay. If you would have asked anyone that knew me in my childhood, they knew that I held a grudge. I held a grudge. Okay. I was like world record grudge holder. So I know if I can let it go, you can too. But that's what brings in that balance. That's what brings in the justice, the balancing of the scales when you're finally able to let go of the heavy, dense shit that doesn't belong in your higher frequency. Whenever you let go of that heavy weight, your scales can come back up into balance. Okay. So use that mirror. Okay, this is a mirrored image. Use the mirror to see where your shadows are holding on to the dense energies, and then do whatever you need to do to let it go. This brings us into our Hierophant energy. This is legacy. This is forever. This is tradition. This could be you establishing, abundance in your genetic bloodline for the first time in generations or ever. This could be you, healing in the way that maybe every woman in your family has chosen abusive, neglectful, just awful relationships. And you've experienced enough of those to where you're like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to heal all of these parts of me, all of these parts of my bloodline that attracted these types of individuals to me. And I'm going to find somebody else that comes along in divine timing when I'm aligned, and I'm not going to be chasing and focused on that. Um, then I'll allow that only if they're a high frequency individual. Any red flags, and I'm out the door. Like, I'm not playing that game anymore. I'm not going to be abused. My daughters are not going to be abused. My children, my sons are not going to grow up to be abusers because this stops with me. So this is you ending probably generational stuff, because that is also what keeps coming up too, is generational patterns. It stops with you, and that can be the reason why some of us have it harder than others, because there's so much shit, generational shit, that we're the one here to break it, we're the one here to heal it. And it could be other people in your family aren't having as tough of a time as you are, but you're the one shouldered with the burden of breaking the family curse and healing the generational patterns, so that you've already done enough of that so that your relatives are already benefiting from that, but you're still feeling very burdened with the responsibility, and things just aren't really working out for you in your current reality. But that's because the weight of it is so heavy. You're meant to put that down. Okay, that's part of what you're meant to put down, but you need to see it. You need to recognize it. You can say, oh, I see, that's not mine. That came generationally. So I don't have to carry that anymore. That's already been broken. That's already been healed. So let's go ahead and integrate that. We don't need to carry that anymore. Um, yeah. I just got a vision of someone's setting down like this huge, it's like a huge boulder, like, you know, the guy that holds the world on his shoulders, you know, I don't know what he's called, but you guys know what I mean. You know, the dude that holds the world on his shoulders. It's like that, I see it as a giant boulder. It's like, oh, I can set that down. That ain't even mine. I've been carrying that for miles and miles, and it wasn't even mine. I'm gonna put that down now. So, once you do that, it's like the floodgates open. It's like you can finally breathe again. Don't even start it. I was just watching a show on the George Floyd thing, and I was bawling right before I came on. So, um, just terrible. But yeah, I know I do that to myself. Atlas, thank you, Matt. Yeah. Italian herbs, perfect. That works too. Love it. It's all about the intention, Matt. It really doesn't have, it's not about the tools at all. So yes, Atlas, the dude holding the world. Thank you. So set it down. Now you can breathe. All right. Healing, bottom of the deck over here with be gentle on yourself and release the past. Literally what I've been saying this whole time. And I didn't even realize that was on the bottom of the deck because I kind of don't really pay attention as I'm pulling. Sometimes some cards will gather my attention, but other than that, no. Right behind that is the warrior card. You're standing in your truth. You're standing in your power. You're realizing, yes, I've done the healing, but you know what? I don't have to carry those burdens anymore. That's way too heavy. And that's not my purpose. It's not my purpose to carry the burdens and be the martyr for the entire bloodline. I'm meant to see it, to heal it, to integrate it, and then to create my fucking legacy, because that's no longer in my energy via my DNA, because I've already let it go. I've already shed that. You know, whenever, you know how whenever you experience some kind of illness or disease, or even like with V's, you know, V's, there's a period of time where you're shedding the virus or you're shedding the whatever. That's the whatever that thing is. I'm lost for the word right now, but you're shedding. So yeah, you're walking around. Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to go down that whole thing because I just had to shake that off. I'm not going to go into jabs or anything like that. Okay. So let it go. Shed it like it's a dis-ease that you've healed from. You're already healed. You're not healing. You are healed. Okay. Accept it, own it. And, you know, that ain't mine. That was generational stuff. I've spent my time, you know, healing this. I've focused on it. I've put in the time. I've paid my debt to the family lineage. I've carried the burden, and now I can set it down because I was only meant to experience it, not take it on as my own. So let it go. Inner peace and universal knowledge. And this is what comes from releasing those burdens that weren't yours to carry in the first place. Yes, they might have been yours to experience and to heal because no one else has been able to do it thus far with regard to your genetic heritage, but you did it. You carried it. You can let it go. And once you do, you receive this, inner peace. I thought it was inner peace. Inner space is what it says. Inner space. But you achieve that inner peace. And this is your universal knowledge kicking in. Like, oh, from my human perspective, I thought that whenever I was, you know, saddled with something, that I had to carry that for the rest of my life because everyone else did before me. It's a pattern. It's a program. And once you consciously realize, oh, I don't have to carry this anymore. I don't have to be the martyr for the family. I experienced it. I healed it. I can let it go. Even if others are experiencing that in the family, that's their path. That's what they are meant to also, you know, experience and or heal, collaborate on healing certain aspects of that energy. It does not mean that you need to continue to swim in that little pond when you've already experienced it, you've already broken it up, you've already changed the blueprint. Okay. You don't need to continue to carry that just because someone else has chosen to continue to carry that and suffer with it doesn't mean that you have to. Wondering for a while now, been listening to what resonates, which when I do. Depends on the clearing and healing, but sometimes I'm not sure. Wait. Is it better to return people's karma for their lessons or transmute it straight to Mama Gaia? You can do either, but if they are meant to, it's about your intention. It can help them, okay? But it's never going to intervene on their experiencing of it. So they will still have to experience it because that's their karma, that's their path. You can send whatever, and residual that you've carried or that you have, to Gaia or to source for transmutation and healing for the highest good of all. But they're going to experience whatever they need to experience regardless. So I'll just say it like this. So if you are doing an entity clearing on someone, even if you have I say you can only do this with their express permission, because anything other than that is manipulative, and it is it's not in integrity. It's not within integrity. It's without integrity. Okay. So look at it like, even if you want to do something like that, look at it as Reiki. Like, I'm sending healing energies, I'm sending cleansing energies. If they're open to it for their highest good, like their higher self can deal with that. But even if you did a full-on entity clearing or something like that on someone that did not know about it, did not give express permission or anything like that, it's not going to work. Even if it does, it's only temporary, a day or two, and then it's back, because that's their path, that's their choice. They've taken this on, whether consciously or unconsciously, and their higher self is going to have them have that experience, whether you come in and try to play Captain Save-A-Ho or not. I'm not saying you're doing that, Anna. I'm just for other people's lesson for today. So even if you do that and try to intervene on their behalf, even if it's coming from the highest intention, from that good, beautiful heart, it doesn't matter. You cannot intervene on someone else's karma. They will experience it regardless. So you can, send healing and set the intention that it's going to be sent to Gaia or source for the highest good of that person and all involved or whatever. But people are going to experience their karma. It's just cause and effect. Karma isn't something that's dictated, that, oh, you can get out of. Eventually the scales are going to rebalance, and that's what this whole reading is about, is the balancing of the scales. So that's a beautiful question, Anna. Thank you for asking that. And I did elaborate a little bit more, just for those who may not really have followed me for long or are just new to this. So thank you. That gave me a moment to expand on for teaching. So go within, because as within, so without. Your external circumstances are a direct reflection of what's happening within you. And if you're starting to see energies turn in your favor, even in the smallest, like even if it's, hey, I walked by that soda machine and just kind of hit a button just to play around and it dropped a free soda, like take that as a win. Okay. That's your abundance raining down, even if it's something super simple like that. Or like, this has been like months ago now, but I went to the grocery store locally and I decided to get a watermelon. The kids really wanted a watermelon. I was kind of craving watermelon too. So I got this big old watermelon, and I get to the cash register and she asked if I was a rewards member. And I was like, yeah, I'm a rewards member. I put my phone number in, and she didn't even scan the watermelon. She just picked it up and then like stuck it over by the stuff. And I was like, okay. I just got that giant, it was huge. It was a giant watermelon. I just got that for free because I'm a rewards member. I didn't question it. I was like, hell yeah, I'll take it. So it could be something like that. If you're seeing things like that taking place in your environment, then take those wins, get excited about that, because that is your signpost. That's your signal that the energies are turning in your favor. And the more you get excited about even those small, seemingly small wins, they're going to snowball effect. Okay. They're going to get bigger and bigger. More and more things are going to happen. Yeah, no problem, Anna. So also reattachment much more likely when done without express consent. Yeah, exactly, Anna, exactly. Um, but yeah, always listen to what resonates for you first and foremost above what anyone says, even me. If it doesn't resonate, then listen to yourself. I love watermelon. They're so good, but only when you get a good one, because it's a real bummer whenever you get one that's just tasteless. I had one of those in the beginning of the summer and I was like, man, what a waste. um, so we have security showing up here, with feeling comfortable within all aspects, family, finances, self, and life. This is the tides turning in your favor. Everything is starting to, even the small wins, you're racking up small wins. They're going to get bigger and bigger. So start noticing, start making a big deal out of those. Start really feeling excited about every time something good happens, even if it's something tiny, because what you focus on is going to grow. Wherever you invest your energy, you're going to reap a return on it. So you will constantly be manifesting good things around you if you're constantly focusing on those things. With the seeds, yeah. Watermelon smoothies, Matt. Now I'm jelly. When it feels right, do it. So if it feels right to make that watermelon smoothie tomorrow, Matt, then do it. I love like watermelon water at the Mexican restaurant. They have different fruit waters, and I've always loved watermelon water. When it feels right, do it. So this is like your energy is lightening. You're starting to see even glimmers, small glimmers of good things happening. You're focusing on those more. So now the energy is ramping up. Now you're going to get that inspired action to really step foot on that path of abundance, of love, of whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest, a new job opportunity, something that you've never had this high pay before, or whatever kind of opportunities that you're wanting to manifest for yourself. Start recognizing the little things. Okay, start really celebrating the small wins, and they're going to continue to gather momentum and get bigger. Happiness is freedom from fear. So ride that happy wave, ride that joy. Be excited about the small things, because when you do, they're going to grow in abundance, in size, in girth. I just heard. I don't know what you're manifesting, but girl, happiness is freedom from fear. So whenever you remove the fear, whenever you remove, the worry that when is the other shoe going to drop, or how am I going to get out of this one, or how am I going to manifest this? Whenever you step out of that fear, out of that anxiety, and you stand in the present moment, and soak joy out of any little thing that you possibly can, you're immediately raising your frequency. Connection, divinely protected, spiritual path, oneness, and secret knowledge. That's right next to the security card. So you are protected, you are safe, you are secure. Things are starting to really grow for you. Things are starting to really move in your favor, where things before have been stuck. It's just because you've been bound so you don't fuck it up this time, okay? You've been bound so that you won't like chase that opportunity way too much and then end up having it backfire in your face because you're doing the runner chaser thing again. So it's trying to run from you. So maybe you've been bound up so that you don't fuck it up this time. Okay. So learn from it, take a step back, and just accept circumstances as they are. And once you are accepting them instead of fighting them, you're no longer fighting against, so it's no longer persisting into your experience, right? And now you're looking for these glimmers of hope, or these glimmers of something good happening. Now you're focused on something shiny, and now you're all in the good feels. And then that's when all of these amazing opportunities start to come in, because you've made that connection, and because your spirit team is like, bitch, we put your ass on hold for a reason. Like, sit there and listen to that instrumental for a minute. All right, listen to the jazz music. Calm your shit. Okay, because it's coming, but it's not going to come whenever you're acting a fool. Somebody's mama, somebody's grandma, maybe. I don't know. So sit your ass down and just let it be. Okay. And then look for the possibilities, look for the opportunities, focus on those. Patience, they said. Divine timing, trust the process. Divine timing is at play. So sit your ass down, like Gigi said. Okay. Sit that ass down and calm your shit. Calm one tit. Okay. That's the other one's your party tit, remember? So just be. Just exist. Take a day, okay? Even if it's got to be the weekend or whatever days you're not working, and do something where you're just existing for once, okay? Instead of constantly having to be focused on something, constantly having to be scrolling on your phone, or constantly having to feel like if I'm not doing something either at work or around the house or blah, 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 I'm not being productive. You are your most productive when you are in a perfectly balanced and rested state. So whether that's going out to meditate out in nature or on your yoga mat in your studio or wherever you are, then do that and trust. Trust is like the message here, because this divine timing card with, trust the process, and this bliss card with trust. Follow the glimmers. That's the glimmer, baby. Trust it. Whenever you see the glimmer, take that as your sign from your higher self, source, God, the universe, whatever. Things are getting brighter, because that's fucking beautiful. Even if it's the only beautiful thing out of a shit day, that's your signpost. Focus here. Expand this. Don't focus all of the shitstorm. Okay? Don't expand the shitstorm. Focus on the glimmer. GMO can suck something girthy. Plan a spa day at home or pampering day while you sit your ass down. Yes, I love that, Anna. There are like seedless watermelons that aren't like GMO from the seed with the poisons inside of the seeds. There are also, human modified foods that's how we got bananas the way they are, so just a little tidbit for you to remember. If you find a seedless watermelon, you can still find one that's organic and not GMO in the way that they've manipulated the seeds in a lab. Just that they've cross-pollinated different species to produce, a seedless. So just that little one. But speaking of seeds, the last card we have out is Seed, with fertility, growth, manifestation, and protection. So again, this is 3 cards in a row that say protection, security, connection, and seed. Your manifestations are safe, are secure, are protected, but you can also self-sabotage. Remember that first card out that was on the bottom of the deck? I said self-sabotage. First thing out of my mouth in this reading, self-sabotage, okay? They're preventing you from sabotaging your own manifestation. So take a seat, listen to Gigi, okay? She said, sit your ass down, baby, and listen. It ain't time yet, okay? So sit down. Your manifestation is taking root. And just like we said on Monday, the root system is happening beneath the surface. You're not going to see it. It's in the dirt. You can't see through the dirt unless you have x-ray vision. And if you do, talk to me. It's expanding beneath the surface. It's establishing firm foundations before it even begins to sprout. If you have a well-established root system, then you're going to have a much more abundant plant, whatever it is, a taller tree, a big, a bushier bush, whatever it is. It's going to be a lot more abundant if it has a well-established root system. So just because you can't see it yet, don't mean it's not there. Look for the signs, look for the glimmers. Continuously realign yourself to focus on the good things that are happening, even in the shit circumstances. Focus on the good things. Don't bypass all of the feelings about the shit circumstances that you're navigating. because we don't do that. You're going to have to balance, baby. You're going to have to juggle. I mean, that's what it is. Spirituality is no different, than regular 3D stuff, because we're in the earth realm. We're in the 3D earth matrix. So things are very tangible, things are very dense, things can be very heavy at times, and it takes time for things to manifest. So, and I'm even saying this to myself because I get really irritated when I'm like, this done should have been here like 25 years ago. Where is it? I get impatient with my manifestations too. All right. It happens. We're human. But we have to remind ourselves, we have to be our own parent. Like, no, baby, we need to sit down and we need to, put on our listening ears, and we need to put on our patience, and we need to wait for the opportunity. Whenever we hear it coming, then we can stand up and we can get ready to go for it. But until then, sit your happy little ass down and just observe and find all of the goodness that you possibly can in the shittiest of your circumstances. And that is not by spiritually bypassing the shitty emotions that come along with the experience. Okay. You're human, you're in a human experience, and you're going to experience shitty ones, and you're going to experience really positive ones, and you're going to have to navigate both. There's no get out of jail free card. Okay. This is the prison planet. We came here as volunteers. We came here to learn. We came here to experience. We came here to guide. We came here to heal for ourselves and for the collective. So if we're bypassing the shit that we are tasked with coming down here to heal, then what are we even doing? Prolonging our own suffering. By love and lighting and ignoring the shit out of the unfavorable circumstances, you are prolonging your own suffering. So acknowledge it, feel the emotions, move them through your body, okay? Because you are in a physical vessel and emotions are stored in the body. That's why people gain weight. That's why people manifest dis-ease and all of these different types of human scenarios, okay? Because energy is stored in the body, like it or not, doesn't matter. Purge it, get it moving, exercise, go hit a punching bag, go primal screaming, go for a walk, do whatever you can, okay? Holly, for you, don't go for a walk, obviously, because you can't walk, not right now. But you can scream, and you live out in the middle of nowhere, so you definitely can get out there and primal scream. Your neighbors might think you're nuts, but they didn't hear you whenever you were out on the lawn with the leg injury to begin with, so I think you're good. I love you. So that's what I have for you guys today. For us today, I guess I should say. Just, keep fighting the good fight, and not by fighting against things, okay? By enduring, by moving through, by navigating the circumstances that have manifest for you, the circumstances that you've been given, okay? Navigate them, and then you overcome. You don't just survive stormy seas in a little tiny boat in the middle of the ocean with violent waves by love and lighting them to death, okay? You navigate by doing what you have to do to keep that boat afloat. So be strategic. Focus only on the negative when you need to navigate, okay? And bring in joy wherever you possibly can. And just keep that thread, even if all it is a thread, right? Fuck the neighbors. For real. I love you, Holly. So navigate that shit. Don't bypass it, because you're not going to bypass it. It will swallow you whole. Okay? Ask Lemuria. Ask Atlantis. Definitely not too soon for those jokes. I love you guys. Yeah, I got a little bit of time. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, thank you. I love you. I'm going to take off my little goddess coils now. I'm constantly adjusting them. I need to come up with a different design where they're not always going to slip off my hands, but my hands are just made to where it's so easy for them to slip up. So I don't know what I'll do, but I'll figure it out. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to prepare to leave to go pick up my children from school. Love thy neighbor. I happen to love thy neighbor. I can love my neighbors, but I'm not going to lie and say that they're intelligent creatures, okay? You know, you can still love them, but think they're idiots at the same time. That's okay. Authenticity at its finest. What can I say? I know you guys love that one. All right, guys, I'm out. I will see you guys tomorrow. I tried that. They ruined it. Yeah, Holly's neighbor is an asshole too, from what I heard. So, you know. Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm not so sure about continuing the elemental readings just because I get more collective views on collective readings. The elemental ones, they're kind of like a quarter of the views that the collective ones get. So I think that we'll just do a reading a day for Monday through Thursday and probably call it good. So whatever you need to hear, whatever whoever's aligned to hearing the message will resonate. And yeah, so I know, Anna, you're just joking. I know that. You're welcome, Ben. I love you. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Mwah. Take care.